What if I told you that the most unguardable player in the NBA right now isn't Steph Curry? It isn't Luka Dončić, and it isn't even Jayson Tatum. In 2025, that player might just be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Stephen A. Smith recently said, "When you watch Shai play, you realize he's got that old-school superstar DNA. He's patient, he's surgical, and I'm telling you right now, he's one of the toughest players in the entire league to guard." That's not me hyping him up. That's one of the biggest voices in basketball. So today we're breaking down Shai's insane 2025 season. How he rose to this level, what makes his game so unique, what the experts are saying about him, and whether this could finally be the year he becomes MVP. Stick with me till the end, because by the time we're done, you might just see Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as the future face of the NBA. Let's rewind a little. Coming out of Kentucky in 2018, Shai wasn't the guy scouts were drooling over. He wasn't the flashy dunker. He wasn't the 30-foot shooter. He was quiet, smooth, efficient. JJ Redick, who played against him as a rookie, once said, "Shai didn't play like a rookie. He already had the patience of a veteran. You just knew he was going to be special." And yet, on draft night, he was only the 11th pick. Drafted by the Hornets, immediately traded to the Clippers, barely a headline. Then came the blockbuster trade. Paul George to the Clippers, Shai to Oklahoma City. Back then, the story was, the Clippers got Kawhi and PG. The Thunder got picks and a young guard. Looking back now, the Thunder didn't just get a young guard, they got a future superstar. Fast forward to this season, Shai is averaging over 31 points per game, around 6 rebounds, over 6 assists, and nearly 2 steals a night. But it's not just the numbers, it's how he gets them. Kendrick Perkins, a former Thunder player himself, said, "I've seen KD, I've seen Russ, I've seen Harden, but Shai, he's different. He's the type of leader you build championships around." And he's proving it. Game after game, Shai is dismantling defenses. 40 points on elite defenders, game winners in the clutch, and all of it done without showboating, just calm, controlled dominance. Now, ask yourself, when was the last time you saw a player control the game with such poise? At only 26 years old, what makes him unguardable? Tim Legler broke it down. SGA has mastered pace. Everyone else is rushing. He slows the game down. He forces defenders to play at his speed. That's why he's impossible to guard. Think about that for a second. He doesn't beat you with speed like Ja Morant. He doesn't bomb threes like Steph Curry. He doesn't bully you like Giannis. Shai beats you with patience, one hesitation, one Euro step, one pull-up from 15 feet, and suddenly the ball is floating through the net. Stephen A. compared him to a young Dwayne Wade, but with even more polish. And when you add his physical gifts, 6'6" height, 7-foot wingspan, he becomes one of the rare guards who can dominate both ends of the floor. Scoring, defense, leadership. He's got it all. The numbers don't lie. Now, let's talk numbers. Advanced Stats love Shai. His true shooting percentage is among the best for guards. His clutch scoring, top of the league. And his efficiency? MVP level. Nick Wright said it on First Things First. Look, Luka's putting up insane numbers. Jokic is Jokic, but Shai, his numbers are right there. And he's doing it without another all-NBA guy next to him. That's what makes it even more impressive. And when you put Shai's 2025 season side by side with history, you see shades of prime Dwayne Wade, Allen Iverson, and yes, even Kobe Bryant. That's not hype, that's math. But here's what really makes this special. Shai isn't just elevating himself, he's elevating the Thunder. This team was supposed to be rebuilding, collecting picks, waiting for the future. But Shai's rise has pulled that future into the present. With Chet Holmgren anchoring the defense, Jalen Williams emerging as a star in his own right, and a deep bench of hungry young players, the Thunder suddenly look like one of the scariest teams in the West. Zach Lowe put it like this: "This is one of the youngest teams in the NBA." But Shai has them playing like seasoned veterans. That's leadership you can't fake. Think about it. OKC hasn't felt this dangerous since the days of KD, Russ, and Harden. And some would argue, this version might be built to last even longer. The MVP conversation. So let's ask the big question. Is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander the MVP of 2025? The competition is brutal. Luka is stacking triple-doubles. Tatum has Boston looking unstoppable. Jokic and Giannis are still dominating. But here's the case for Shai. Elite stats, elite efficiency, and his team, way ahead of schedule, is winning. Stephen A. put it simply, if the Thunder finish top 3 in the West, you cannot ignore Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Period. And that's the truth. If MVP is about carrying your team beyond expectations, then Shai is at the very top of the list. Legacy and the future. And here's the scariest part. Shai is only 26. If this is what he looks like now, what will he look like at 28? At 30? Multiple MVPs, championships in Oklahoma City, the greatest Canadian player of all time, surpassing Steve Nash? JJ Redick summed it up perfectly. Shai doesn't need the spotlight. The spotlight finds him. He's got that quiet greatness. And those guys, they end up being legends. So, after breaking down his insane 2025 season and hearing what the experts are saying, I'll leave you with this. Is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander your MVP this year? Or will someone else take it? Drop your answer in the comments, because this race is just getting started.